No. No, please. No. No. Come on. You gotta load. No. So I thought to save time this week, I had an idea. Instead of modeling my own pot plant, I decided to download one of the free models you can get online, and I downloaded it. It looked pretty good. The thing that was crossing through my mind while going through these was what would look cool in VR, because obviously you don't want flat leaves, you kind of want them to have some depth. I also got some free textures online as well, and put those onto the cabinet, so now things have textures. But then I had to import. And at first, it worked. But when I relaunched Unity, apparently the importer crashed and the model had disappeared, it had gone. And I had tried to re-import it a few times with little success. So I kind of just thought, all right, I'm gonna step back a bit and there's something else I wanna work on instead. That being input for the Vive controller. Because right now what I'm using is just the standard assets that come with the SteamVR SDK. If I want to pick up an object, I just select it as throwable and I can use the input on this controller and it just works. But obviously I also want to program my own things, so I thought, right, this week I'm gonna work on this. I thought it would be easy, and boy, did I think wrong.
SteamVR.source input SteamVR action .any hand SteamVR 2.0 SteamVR 2.3 SteamVR source SteamVR Google 2.2 Open UI page Google
Nothing is
spreadsheet
working.
Save and generate 2.2 attract SteamVR input
Just give up.
1.3 There's no hope for you now. SteamVR
Controllers.
2.3
Interactable. Button input. Unreal Engine.
2.2 Open UI
Unity 3D.
5.3.2
SteamVR
Save and
SDK.
generate 2.3.2
And then, one fateful evening, while going through Google once again, going through the same forums and the same tutorials that I'd been going through the entire week, troubleshooting and trying to figure out what works and what didn't work, looking for any detail that could help me with this problem of just input not working. And it wasn't that I was getting any errors, it's just that either the method of programming was outdated, which it told me outright, or it was just completely ignored. There was no errors, so I couldn't figure out what the problem was. Then I came across this script which I hadn't seen used before in any of the tutorials. And I thought, heck, why not? I'm just gonna drag and drop this script onto my gun manager, and I did, and it worked. Everything worked. Now this gun model, I'm actually rendering it right now as we speak. I had the default gun model. It's kind of like a laser gun. And I added features onto it.
And I thought that I may as well show you what it looks like in game right now. So we have the two pistols which have been attached onto the controllers, and I put little dot sights on them, which looks really cool. Again with the wires just look cool in VR. And you can shoot. And by shoot I mean you can pull the trigger and you'll see this weird laser mesh I made, and it'll play this obnoxious shooting sound. I also attached a light onto one of them, and on the side buttons, if you hold them down or clench them, then it turns the lights on or off, and I think that'll be really fun in the future to play around with different mechanics with using light and darkness. And the thing I found myself doing was playing pretend with just this mechanic. There's no ray tracing or bullet actually firing, and there's nothing to shoot, but I'm still playing around with it. Considering this is working now, I thought that I would go over to the old Bomb VR project and try and report the asset. And it worked! So now it's back to the to-do list of things for the project. And there's one thing that really needs to get done.
And now I'm going to program what happens when you die and when you win. Because when the bomb goes off, the screen goes black, but then it stays black. And when you win, confetti goes and whatever, but the bomb timer doesn't stop. So even if you win, the screen will go black. That's what Mitchell was talking about in the last video about him winning, but then he died anyway. So I'm going to add in events so that when you do win or you do lose, it loads another scene and you're not just kind of stuck in the same situation. Something else also happens. After a very difficult week, things are looking up again.